What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Video Creator Podcast. My name is Augie Johnston. I'm here with my co-host, Grant Ball. And here we talk about everything YouTube and just being a video creator. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking all about why you should be choosing YouTube over all of these other platforms. Obviously, we're a little biased, but we'll do our best to be as objective as we can be. So if there is, a little gold star that we can give another platform, don't worry, we'll do it. But today, we're just really going to be diving deep into all the pros and all the best reasons that you should be creating content on YouTube today. All right, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. And Grant, I'd like to kind of start this off by just asking a question. As far as monetization and making money and putting some commas and some zeros in your bank account, what reason is YouTube better than other platforms when it comes to making money?
So the biggest thing is ad revenue. The nice thing about YouTube is their ad revenue system is overall pretty good. It can be a bit harsh. There's some age gating that has gone a bit too far recently with YouTube. We can, get into that to talk some dirty on YouTube a bit. But their monetization overall is kind of nuanced. So whenever you upload a video, assuming you are monetized, you are able to not flag your video, but mark your video as is relevant. So for instance, if you have some swearing in your video, you can mark it as light, moderate, or heavy swearing, and it'll be able to run full ads, limited ads, or very limited ads. And this is good because as long as you're marking your videos accurately, the idea is, if you have one video that is really raunchy and another that is squeaky clean, your squeaky clean video theoretically should be unaffected by your raunchy video. Whereas a platform like TikTok, for instance, there are some people that they'll just get their account deleted randomly out of nowhere. It's quite common because they were swearing too much or even for no reason at all. Some girl is in a bikini and then they just get flagged for no reason. Weird things can happen with TikTok specifically. And then Facebook, there are ads, but it's, there's less of a community on there. Facebook, the marketplace is good, I think, for growing a business, whereas YouTube is better for growing an actual audience. And that is pretty key. You can monetize that audience directly with ad revenue.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's cool that YouTube gives you the ability to choose when you want to show ads too, or if you don't want to show ads at all, right? Like I remember with my basketball training channel, I got accepted for I can't remember what it was called back then, the partner program essentially. And they said, hey, you can start showing ads in your videos. And at that time I was like, no, I don't want to show ads because I was monetizing that channel in other ways. I was having people click links at the end of my video to go and enter their email, join my email newsletter, and then I would market to them through the email newsletter different products that I was selling. And so I was like, hell, well, I don't want to risk one person, clicking away because there's an ad. It's ridiculous now because at this point people expect to see the ads, and it's just like a cherry on top, right? Whenever you get that AdSense revenue, that's like, it's actually significant. People always say like, oh, don't worry about the AdSense revenue. You should be trying to make money in other ways on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But like the AdSense revenue is significant. And if you have a decent sized channel, you might, be making $1 million in your back end business, with all the other stuff, but you're probably bringing home a full-time income. If you're making $1 million, you're probably bringing home, this is just random, but like $50,000 to $100,000 in AdSense, depending on how much views you get and all that. There's a lot of factors there, but okay. Monetization is great. I mean, platforms like Instagram, you don't even get paid, right? So you're an Instagram creator. Can you? Is there what about TikTok? You mentioned Facebook. So tell us a little bit about TikTok. Can you earn revenue there from ads?
You can. So TikTok does have a partner program of sorts. It's not directly using advertisements like YouTube does. It's more of a partner program. So there's like a pool of money and TikTok sort of distributes this money, and it's a little weird. YouTube actually does the same thing with YouTube Shorts. And the reason for this is with short form content, it's, if there's a 30-second video and you have a 10-second ad, that's just a little weird. So what they do is they have a pool of money and they distribute this pool of money based on how many views you're getting, how much they like you. It's a little arbitrary, but as far as I know, TikTok and YouTube essentially work the same way with their short form content. So, YouTube has their shorts, obviously, and you can post shorts to YouTube, and YouTube is more lenient than TikTok. So if your content's a little more raunchy, you can post those shorts on YouTube without fear of getting your account insta-deleted. However, you can still get paid via this money pool on TikTok as well. And this is just something to keep in mind, that YouTube has the same thing TikTok does, and they're a little more lenient.
Yeah, and you're referring to YouTube Shorts, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, keep in mind, everybody, that TikTok is owned by, I don't know, China. It must be a company in China. Everyone always just say it's owned by China, but the government over there is so wonky that you never know what's happening. But I feel like TikTok will never get to the point where people are earning as much on TikTok as they are as YouTube, just because of that factor that they're, in China and it's short form content. I mean, although nowadays on TikTok, you can upload longer ones, no one's sitting around watching a 10-minute video on TikTok. So that's why you should upload long form content on YouTube. Well, last thing I want to talk about a little bit about YouTube AdSense and the ads on YouTube is, you can really maximize the amount of money that you are making off your ads by placing them in certain positions in your video, right? Like you can have a pre-roll, that's before the video starts. You can have a mid-roll, that's in the middle of your video. And I don't know what the one at the end is called. Maybe a post-roll. Do you know what that's called? Is it?
Yeah, it's a post-roll. I'm 99% sure it's called a post-roll.
I thought so too. It makes sense to my head. But anyways, so what a lot of people do, especially on the longer videos, let's say you have a 60-minute video on there, is they will have multiple mid-rolls. And you can actually go in on the back end of YouTube Studio and place them in certain parts. So right when something's suspenseful in the video that the viewer is going to want to stick around and watch, you place an ad right there. And those work great. And as a viewer myself, I see those sometimes. I'll be watching something. Oh, the climax. What is it? I've been waiting 10 minutes to hear this. And then ad, And yeah. And one thing I also mentioned about the ads, before we move on is not all ads are created equal on YouTube, right? Some are ones that you can't skip, unskippable ads. And as the creator, you can choose if you want to have ads that are not skippable, you get paid more, or you want all the ads to be skippable. And there's other kinds of ads too. Am I missing any other ads there, Grant?
There's banner ads, which you may as well put them on, but they don't get, they barely pay you anything.
Okay, yeah. So then the banner ads too, and yeah. And so me as a marketer, I love the YouTube advertising platform as somebody that actually runs ads. I love it for the AdSense too, but as a person who runs ads, I mean, imagine how targeted you can get with this. There's a lot of different ways you can target your ads, but one way is that you can say, hey, every video on this channel, when somebody clicks on and watches it, I want to show my ad right there. So I could go to even a competitor, right? Somebody that I'm competing with, if they have social media content on YouTube, I can put ads right in front of their audience. So it's a super powerful platform. YouTube's done a great job with it because what is the ad revenue split? It's something like 50-50, but not exactly. Do you know it?
Yeah, it's 55-45. So YouTube gets 55, you get 45. I believe it's that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense to me. And I think that's fair, honestly. I mean, it's as close to 50-50 as you're going to get with one of these platforms that's actually, spending all the money for the servers, for the blah, 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 all this stuff, it's all free to create on there. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay. So we've talked a little bit about the AdSense. Let's dive deeper into monetization though. Let's say not taking ads into consideration. Why, for a business owner or somebody that's looking to make some money online, should they choose YouTube over these other platforms?
So, are you talking about like a brick and mortar business or somebody who has like a course they're trying to sell? What kind of business exactly?
Yeah, let's say more of like an online business with like a course or maybe some products that they have online.
Sure. Well, the biggest reason is YouTube has a lot more wiggle room, a lot more creative room than something like TikTok or Instagram. Again, Facebook, you can still get a lot of eyeballs in front of you, but it's harder to maintain and build an actual audience on Facebook. You know, YouTube is more, it's easier to be personality based, so you can build this audience, and then if you want to have an advertisement for a new course or something, you can just embed that in a video, and you have total control over that advertisement and how you want to pitch your course or whatever it is that you're selling. And this is obviously a huge advantage. Whereas with something like TikTok, I think the vertical video and the short form dominant aspect of it makes it harder to have advertisements. They have to be shorter. You can have clickable links and stuff, but I think ultimately you just have more control with YouTube when you are trying to pitch something. And again, the TikTok can be very wonky. We don't have to constantly poop on TikTok here, but
Right.
it's just a lot easier to build and maintain an audience on YouTube that is dedicated to you and what you have to say. And then you can really craft your advertisement to how you want your audience to, you can craft your advertisement to appeal to your audience. And I feel like with TikTok, you could do the same thing, but you got to put it in short form and the vertical video, and it's perhaps going to be more limiting. Hey there. You probably know the Video Creator Show is brought to you by VidChops.com. What is VidChops.com? Well, it is an editing service that will take the horrible burden of editing off your back. We all know video editing. It's tedious. It takes forever. But what if you had a professional who did it for you? You go to sleep, you wake up, it's done. Wouldn't that be magical? VidChops.com. Hire a professional, save yourself time and energy, and take your YouTube channel to the next level.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, the platforms are just totally different machines. You know, even Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, we'll just kind of bundle those together versus YouTube. And the platforms are different, right? Think about Facebook is a news feed. Right. So people are scrolling. TikTok's a news feed, scrolling. Instagram news feed, scrolling. YouTube, not so much. Like you go to YouTube almost like you turn on your TV to watch cable TV like people used to. Not anymore. I got YouTube TV. Yeah. So like on YouTube, it's like turning on the TV. You want to go and you want to watch a creator. You know, you're kind of at the mercy of the algorithms on TikTok and Facebook, as far as people are not going to normally on those platforms go up to the search bar and search your name, go and start watching your videos. On YouTube, that happens all the time, right? People will be like, oh, I wonder if he released a new video, or hey, he said he releases videos every Thursday. It's Thursday. I'm going to go right to his channel and check it out. So there is that. Like, it's just kind of a different vibe. Like, we're not just swiping, we're sticking around because we want a 10-minute video. Like on the technical side, for me, as a business owner, the reason I like YouTube is they make it a lot easier for businesses. Like, you can put links in the description. They're hyperlinked. Someone could just click on them. You know, at the end of your video, you can have an end card with a little pop-up that pops up right onto the screen with a link right to your website that you can click. On your banner, on your channel, you can put a little link right there. They can click to your website. You could put 10,000 affiliate links in your description, right? If you want to put as much as you can. Like, it's not so limited like that. I feel like, you know, Instagram, you get one link, right? Link in bio. You get, if you have 10,000 followers, you can swipe up to send somebody to your website. And Facebook, it's a little bit more lenient. You can put links around here, but like the thing that's kind of weird about Facebook is if you try to share a YouTube video on Facebook, Facebook will not put that in the newsfeed. Like, that will not show up to any of your friends or any of your fans. And so like, that kind of just pisses me off right there. To like, that's just like, I don't know.
It's a real Zuck move.
Yeah, that's pure Zuck right there. Yeah. And I get it because they're trying to compete, but I don't think they're ever going to be able to compete with YouTube on the video side. I mean, yes, people, on Facebook is getting more views than YouTube, I think. I think they've actually surpassed YouTube in number. Don't quote me on that. Do a Google search on that, but it's close because Facebook recently did do a big switch to focus on video, but these views aren't as valuable. None of them are search based, right? No one's searching on Facebook how to shoot a basketball. And I bet the view durations on all of these Facebook views are just horrible. A lot lower. Horrible. Yeah.
I bet they're horrible. Like a Facebook view, one of the reasons they're less valuable is because when you're scrolling through your Facebook feed and like the video starts playing automatically, right? That counts as a view. Whereas on YouTube, you have to actually click on the video for it to count as a view. And Facebook is essentially trying to maximize views and bolster their statistics. It makes them look good, it raises their stock value. But YouTube is trying to maximize watch time and audience retention and the amount of time that people spend on the platform and the quality of videos that get promoted. And they don't always succeed at this, but at least they are actively trying and have done a fairly good job of doing this. Whereas, as you said, Facebook is just kind of, they're just trying to bolster their numbers. And a view on Facebook is maybe worth like a third of a YouTube view.
Yeah, true. Needless to say, I do see some people on Facebook starting to get their ad rev. It's new, right? The ad revenue thing on Facebook's more new, maybe within the last year, 2 years max. And I've seen some pretty solid checks, screenshots on there and stuff. So I do think that it does make sense to take your videos, your long form videos from YouTube and repurpose them for Facebook in hopes to grow an audience there and get another check. I think that makes sense since the content's already created. But to say like, hey, I'm going to be a Facebook creator and only create content for Facebook, like, I don't think anybody does that.
I've never heard of that at all.
Like most of the videos that I watch on Facebook, like aren't even really like user generated content. They might be, but they're more like, how do I explain this? Like a lot of them are like almost like cat videos in a way where it's like just something funny that's happening. Like, I guess they are user generated. Someone with their phone filming their kid who is wiping out on their bicycle or something like that. And like, that's the content. It's not like, what's up guys? Welcome to today's video. Like it is on YouTube. And so I don't know if that has to do with just creators not being there yet or the algorithm. But okay, that's a good segue into the next part. Let's talk a little bit about the algorithms because we're trying to convince people here to start on YouTube and to be a YouTube creator and not to go to these other platforms. What would you say about the algorithm on YouTube compared to these other ones?
So I will say, I think TikTok's algorithm is probably the best as far as keeping people on the platform and showing them things that they will continue to watch. So in that sense, organic reach on TikTok is superior to all other platforms. Yeah. This is a double-edged sword because that makes the platform very algorithm dominant. Of course, all platforms are dominated by algorithms, but TikTok especially, there isn't much of a customization aspect to it. You're kind of at the mercy of the algorithm, the For You page, things like this. And sure, you can subscribe to or follow people on TikTok, and you can go to their profiles and kind of look at their videos. But ultimately, TikTok is algorithmically based, bar none, whereas YouTube has a subscriber feed. So again, this concept of building a dedicated audience is much easier to do on YouTube. TikTok, you kind of just have to hope that your videos keep getting that organic reach, whereas YouTube, you can rely on people who actually really like you to keep watching your videos on the subscription feed. I will say the YouTube subscription feed isn't what it was in the older days. Most people, I think, just use the homepage or suggested videos. However, enough people still use the subscription feed to where it is it's still important. It still affects your ability to reach people. So yeah, the YouTube algorithm is I think less dominant. Like there's more of a human aspect to it, whereas TikTok is basically dominated by what the robots want and what they think you want. And Facebook, the algorithm there, again, we kind of touched on this. They're maximizing views right now. That's okay, but Facebook, I actually watched a video on this and did some research on this a bit earlier today. Facebook essentially tried to become every single social media platform. And to a certain extent, all platforms have tried to do that. But what Facebook did was they tried to do everything at once, and they aren't really a specialist in anything. Like they aren't the best at anything. They're just kind of a jack of many trades. So in that sense, the Facebook algorithm is a little, as you said, like it's not really user-generated content that seems to do well. It's a lot of kind of weird cat videos or cringy pranks or something like that. That is just kind of, I don't know, it just pops up there. It's similar to TikTok, but worse.
Yeah. I would agree with what you said. The TikTok algorithm is really good. Like, I don't even really follow people on there. I just swipe on the, I guess it's called For You page, and just they give me content that I enjoy, and the algorithm learns as you watch. And if you post content on TikTok, a lot of times you'll grow quickly. Like the organic reach, like you said, is great. The problem is that like when I go on TikTok, I might watch 30 videos in like less than 5 minutes, right? I might watch 30 to 40 videos. On YouTube, in less than 5 minutes, I'll watch one, right? But the difference is that the YouTube video is longer. It's, you're building a relationship more. I'm getting more value. TikTok is kind of just like full of, I don't know what to say, like just like candy, like just like it's not really good for me, but I can consume it, and I can consume a lot of it, and it tastes good. When YouTube is more like reading a book, like I'm getting value from it and all that.
Yes.
And I would say like the YouTube algorithm is great because it is a discovery platform. Like, yes, it's a search engine. People can search you and find you on there. But if I'm watching a video about skateboarding and I watch like 5 videos from the same guy, the next time I go onto YouTube on that homepage, I'll probably see, another video from that guy. And then I'll probably see 1 or 2 other skateboarding videos from other creators that are really popular and doing well that I just haven't discovered yet. And I might click on one of those and then, start another binge watching session and just, get more value. So I do like that about the algorithm on YouTube, because as a creator myself, when somebody watches something about whatever my content is, I do want them to show my thumbnail up on that page to get discovered. It's a discovery platform. And TikTok will do the same thing. The problem is with TikTok, as far as making money goes and stuff, you're not going to be able to drive clicks off of TikTok to your website like you can on YouTube, like I mentioned earlier. And kind of the last thing about YouTube is, like you said, that subscribe page. Like when I open up YouTube to watch some videos and I don't see anything on the homepage I like, that's when I hit the subscribe one, because then it's going to show me all my options, all the new videos from all the channels I've subscribed to. And normally by then I can find a video that I want to watch. So it's just like a perfect system, in my opinion. Anything else you want to add about the algorithms?
I want to drive home the importance of the human aspect of YouTube's algorithm, whereas I feel like all the other platforms, there isn't much of a human aspect, especially like with engagement and things of that nature on YouTube. I just think there's a wholesomeness to it that TikTok does not have. And also, again, with the human aspect, I guess this isn't directly algorithm related, but even just the idea of thumbnails on YouTube, if you can make eye-catching thumbnails, that can help you stand out. I would almost compare, like, this is an interesting metaphor I just thought of. You can think of, if we were going to think of social media platforms as cameras or settings on a camera. So YouTube is like the manual settings on a camera. You can control the thumbnail, you can directly talk to your audience better, people can subscribe to you. There's this sort of customization aspect, right? TikTok is like the automatic setting on a camera. You don't have to worry about the lighting. The algorithm in the camera will deal with it for you. And it's easier. You don't have to think about it as much. You can kind of just focus on your content, but you do ultimately have less control over what works and what doesn't, and how your content is perceived relative to other people's content, especially with regards to thumbnails, or in TikTok's case, lack thereof.
Yeah, that was a great metaphor. That makes a lot of sense to me as well. And then what would Facebook be? Facebook would be like the phone camera or something.
It's just the phone
trying to do everything for you.
It's like the automatic setting and manual setting at the same time, and for no reason, and it doesn't quite make sense, but somehow is still around.
Yeah, and the thing about Facebook that's crazy too is like it's an older population on there, which is crazy to say. But like no high schoolers even have Facebook. Mm-hmm. Like if I was to look at the numbers, like if I could get into like Facebook's data, right, of all their users, like I bet you like 90% of all the users are ages 30 and above, or maybe 25 and above. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because this TikTok thing is more recent, right? And so that's gonna change the whole platform in itself, right? I mean, that's going to change the algorithms. Never going to quite be right for younger people, and YouTube is a platform that has everybody, and TikTok's a platform that more people are starting to adopt it, but it is a younger demographic, still even to this day. But I think that'll change in the next 2 to 3 years for sure. It already is starting. I mean, I'm starting to see business content popping up in my feed, making sure to swipe past any girl dancing, because I do not want that algorithm to just, because at first it did. I was like, oh my gosh, and then I started seeing them more and more, and I'm like, okay, I just cannot watch these because it'll serve you those videos. And I'm just like, that's not what I'm here for, But TikTok is, I think that's one of the reasons that it gets a lot of criticism. So, all right, let's go ahead and keep this conversation moving. So so far we've talked, great praises to YouTube. Let's kind of switch the script a little bit, and let's talk about where these other platforms beat YouTube, and maybe why somebody would want to start somewhere else or anything. And then we'll switch back and talk about YouTube in the end again. Sure. Is there any ideas, any things that pop into head? Like, why would you want to start on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok?
Sure. So first, I'd like to say something positive about Facebook versus YouTube. We've kind of been mean to Facebook, and rightfully so. However, recently YouTube has been age gating content a lot. And it's been very strict. A lot of YouTubers are making videos about this. They're frustrated, rightfully so. I think with Facebook, there's more leniency there. Like there's less risk of kind of getting the age gate slap. They have, again, there's a lot of older people on Facebook, so I think this is less of a problem for them. And in that sense, you don't have to worry about these massive algorithm changes. I think with YouTube, what might be happening is there was a push internally to get better with like not showing bad videos to kids, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but often the way YouTube implements these new algorithms is they start with kind of a whiny baby algorithm that flags everything, and then slowly it learns, becomes more nuanced, more reasonable, and more adult and grown up. So we might just be dealing with a whiny baby algorithm that is in the process of growing right now with YouTube. In Facebook, that happens less. There's less of this, like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, age gate slap, demonetization slap, new algorithm slap. It's like the people on the platform are the last to know about this huge change. And Facebook is always changing their user interface and kind of doing annoying things, but I think it seems to affect the actual content creators on there less, as far as I can tell. So that is props to Facebook. Less age gating issues, less, there's more older people. So it's just not as big of a deal. Older people also tend to have more money. Yes, younger people tend to have maybe disposable income if they're still living with their parents, but ultimately, if somebody's in their 50s, statistically speaking, they're going to have more money to spend than somebody who is, 22. And that's just kind of how the world has always worked. So if you're trying to sell something a bit more expensive, then Facebook is probably a better place for you than TikTok or YouTube, or even Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One thing that popped into my head was as far as giving some credit or recommending that you start in other places than YouTube. I think YouTube is the hardest one to gain initial traction. Right. You're not, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, you should probably start it, looking to start it for the long term or be in it for the long term, because on TikTok, you can, go and start pumping out a video. It's very easy to create a video for TikTok, right? A lot of times 15 seconds is enough to create a successful video on there. You can get millions of views on that video. You can grow your following super quickly. And that's TikTok, right? On YouTube, you're going to probably want to script out your video. I mean, like last week you were talking, Grant, about how you've been, meeting once a week and working on this mega script, and you're going to, spending months on creating a video because you want it to be great on YouTube, and they'd have to be great on YouTube. When on TikTok and these other platforms, even Instagram, they don't need to be as great. I mean, the good thing about YouTube is they did just recently start shorts, right? So YouTube does have short form content now called YouTube Shorts. And when they initially launched it, they were having some problems with their algorithm. At first, I heard this in a podcast or in an article somewhere. At first, they found that people, just because they came and binge watched your shorts or watched some of your shorts, didn't necessarily mean that they would enjoy your long form. So what YouTube's algorithm did is they separated the two. They said, all right, if this creator has a bunch of shorts and people are watching them, that does not mean that we're going to recommend their channel to them on the homepage ever, because there's a disconnect there. And then I think creators started to get upset because they're like, well, where's the incentive to create shorts? And now they have recently announced that there is a connection there. If they do watch your shorts, we will promote your long form content there. And even now at the end of your short, you can put an end card, which I thought was really cool. I uploaded a short the other day and I was like, whoa, I can put a subscribe now, and I can put a click to another video on there as an end card. And I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, anyways, I would still say though that it's a lot harder to get started on YouTube than it is on other platforms. But the shorts route can be a good one. And I've looked at channels and I'm like, whoa, they're releasing a ton of shorts. I'm like, dang, they got a ton of shorts. And then I'll look at their social blade and I'm like, holy crap, they're getting 150 million views a month.
Yeah.
And it's all short views. And so their AdSense revenue is not great. The AdSense revenue on shorts is not good. And I don't know if that translates to subscribers or not, but it seems like that it does. It does now, at least.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah. Growing a long form audience can take time, and some of my clients are kind of dealing with this now. Their shorts take off, their long form content not so much, and it can be frustrating, I think, especially if you don't have a lot of time or energy in your channel. You've been working hard on it and it's not growing. I think these other platforms can be more of a confidence booster. They can kind of show you that, hey, actually the things I'm making are valuable. It's just YouTube, they tend to be pickier with tiny channels, I've noticed. I think they're kind of worried about channels that are small, just created, posting bad videos. They kind of don't want to deal with that. So I think there is somewhat of a filtration system. Just YouTube isn't very nice YouTube is not very nice to tiny channels. So something to be aware of. I totally agree with your point there.
Yeah, and I think that's fair, because most people, when they start creating content, they're not very good at it, right? So, that's why they're not pushing you out. And you kind of got to earn it. And that kind of brings me to my next point, where and I have another reason why you should be on YouTube and not on these other platforms, because YouTube allows you to build this content library, right? So after 2-3 years on YouTube, you have 300 videos that's going to bring in a lot more views than an Instagram video, right? So somebody watches my YouTube video, they go to my channel, they binge a bunch of videos. Chances are they, in time will go through every single video and watch, majority of the minutes of those videos. And I just don't think that happens on these other platforms. Me personally, at least, I don't go to like a TikTok profile and watch every single one of their videos. Like if I do see a TikTok or something that I really like and I do go to their profile, I'll probably just watch like the pinned one. I'll leave, I'll watch maybe one more, I'll leave, and I'll never come back. When on YouTube, if I find somebody I like, I'll come back often, years. Like, I mean, think about some of the creators that you've watched for 3-4 years now. Like, man, I feel like I've watched all their videos, and especially if there's a good one, like I will totally binge all of their stuff and just get a ton of value from it, especially if I'm trying to learn something. So there's that library aspect of YouTube. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, just to piggyback on the library aspect, I think one reason that a library can be effective on YouTube, a large catalog of videos, is YouTube, there's more potential to make people feel intense emotions. This is just creating art, right? Obviously, you can make art on TikTok. Technically anything is art, but with the vertical video format and the short form format, it's easier for somebody to watch a video of yours that they liked and then instantly forget about it. Whereas if they watch a longer form video, like 10, 15 minutes, or even 5 minutes, and it's, got the widescreen, it's got a bigger screen, more cinematic appeal, there is more opportunity to make the viewer feel something that they will remember. And that's important, especially in this time of short attention spans. It is normal to be forgotten. Like the amount, think of how many hours you've spent on TikTok or short form content on YouTube that you do not remember. Is it like 95%? It's probably higher than that. There's so much of it. Whereas if I'm watching old Casey Neistat videos or old videos that still have a place in my heart, I remember those videos and I remember how they made me feel. That can create evergreen content. It makes that library so much more possible.
Yeah, that's the good word you used there, evergreen, right? This is evergreen content. And you just said something about Casey Neistat. He actually just released a new video, I think yesterday. Yeah,
he released 2 in a row. I watched both of them. Yeah. Did
the algorithm recommend that on your homepage or what?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and that's probably because I don't know when the last time you watched a video or whatever, but for me personally, I hadn't watched one in a long time, and all of a sudden, what do you know? There's old Casey, my good friend. Not really, but on the homepage right there, that's the same guy that got me into cameras, that got me into electric skateboards, that made me want to move to New York City, was right there. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like I haven't really watched any of his videos in a long time, but I've watched a lot of them. And when I watched this new one, it was just, I don't know, it's just cool. It's just different, right? It's different than a TikTok video. And the credit goes to just the fact that they're long form. Right. Like last night, even too, I was watching YouTube on my TV, right? I was literally in my living room. The kids were asleep. It was just me and my wife. And I was watching a video on my TV, and you're not going to get that with TikTok or Instagram. You're not going to get on the TV like that. So there's that too, right? Like they're literally coming into people's homes with that kind of content. Okay. So the next thing I kind of want to talk about, is why another reason why you should be using YouTube is because, hey, you could still repurpose your content, right? You could still, and I do this, I create a long form video on YouTube. We take the best, 20-second little segment, we cut it up, make it vertical, and then that video gets posted on, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So, why kind of take the long road when you can just take the short road and kind of have what's called omnipresence and be everywhere. So that's just another reason. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I totally agree. Because with YouTube having that kind of bigger, better artistic canvas, like you can always, so you make this big, beautiful video, it's easier to make a smaller, slightly less beautiful video that is perhaps easier to post on TikTok or Instagram or something. Whereas doing the opposite is impossible. Once a video is filmed vertically, you can't make it widescreen. You just can't. So yeah, it seems just intuitive there, where YouTube is widescreen and you can make vertical video out of widescreen, but not the other way around. And you can turn long form into short form, but not the other way around. And I think that's just important to keep in mind.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and kind of go one final question that we can do some final thoughts here. Now, there's a little bit of a trick question. You can answer however you want. But if you were just going to try to grow follower numbers and view numbers, which platform would you start on?
If I had to only choose one platform.
Yeah. And we're looking at just pure views and pure followers.
I would do TikTok. Yeah.
Why?
Because the organic growth potential is higher on TikTok. It is easier to get started. Kind of as we talked about with YouTube, it's harder to get noticed, especially with long form stuff. YouTube, you can post shorts, obviously. But I think TikTok's algorithm is still king when it comes to short form content. And that's the best way. You want big numbers, big followers, big views, post to TikTok. And, we're not talking about monetization here. We're not talking about anything else. We're just talking about attention. I think TikTok is the best, easiest place to get lots of attention as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. The algorithm right now allows you to get great organic reach. And I will mention that this is the year 2022. Almost got that wrong. And I can remember a time when Facebook was the TikTok. And what I mean by that is back in the day, this is, God, what year is this? 2012, 2013. You could post a video on your Facebook fan page and they would push that video out. It would get so many views. It would go viral. And then all of a sudden Facebook realized, you know what? We don't want to give up all these views for free. If you want to get views on Facebook, you're going to need to pay for those views. Those need to be ads, right? You need to run ads. And so they changed their algorithm. They killed all the organic reach from those fan pages. To this day, if you make a post on a Facebook fan page, it's only going to show in the newsfeed to less than 1% of your followers. So if you have like 1,000 followers, it'll show up in the newsfeed probably like 5 people. So that's terrible. So that just totally discourages any incentive for people to go on there and create organic content. Now, I think that actually has changed now that I'm seeing, Facebook make a big focus on video and stuff. That number is better now. But that's what made me leave Facebook. TikTok now is in the position right now, kind of like Facebook was, where they're letting that organic reach happen. They're showing it all over the place instead of forcing you to pay for ads. But with that said, every platform has done this, and Instagram did it too, where eventually they changed the algorithm and then you have to pay. Once they have that major adoption of users, they got their 100 million users or 200 million users or whatever, they make that change. And I remember Instagram too, like any post you would make on Instagram, it was kind of like Twitter. It would show up in your followers' newsfeed no matter what. So if I made a post, if somebody follows me, it's going to show up in their newsfeed. I'm getting one impression off that. And then Facebook buys Instagram. They change the algorithm. Now it's based on engagement, and watch, maybe not watch time, but likes, comments, that kind of stuff. So anyways, just beware. If you are on TikTok right now, you have that early adoption, advantage. So now is the time. I've seen people, I used to, crap on TikTok a lot.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, before I even downloaded. Yeah, they do. It's just for kids. I said that in a Facebook group before. It's just for kids. And then I watched somebody that's in my niche just blow up on there. And then that same guy recently, and this is amazing, posted a short on YouTube that got, I don't know how many views, but he grew his channel from 10,000 subscribers to 250,000 subscribers in less than 30 days. It was the same guy.
Wait, with one short?
Yeah. It went viral.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was right during the time where YouTube made that switch to where they said, okay, if somebody watches your short, then we'll promote your long form content to, and I think there was a little bit of a glitch there that allowed that to happen. And yeah, he's over 300,000 subscribers now. His name is Austin Armstrong, I think. And it wasn't even like a real viral type short. It was, here's 10 websites that you should check out, and there was just like little tools like, Asana or like whatever these little tools are. And that thing blew up, and he's my Facebook friend. And he's been just, whoa, this is amazing, from 10,000 to silver play button in less than 30 days. So yeah, anyway, it's pretty crazy. So any last final things that you want to tell people, because they need to know, why should they choose YouTube over any other platform?
Mm-hmm. Well, overall, I just feel YouTube has enough similarities to TikTok that, if you have to choose one platform, you only have enough time or mental capacity to choose a platform. YouTube, it has the short form content, it has the long form content. Your short form content, if people are watching it, will make your long form content more likely to get promoted. It's easier to monetize on YouTube. There's more options for monetization. It's easier for people to click links that you want them to click on YouTube. I mean, who looks at TikTok descriptions? It's just kind of overall, I feel like YouTube has the best way to build a dedicated audience. It has the best ways to pitch any business that you want to promote to your audience. It has the most options. It has the overall, like TikTok has the best algorithm, shall we say. But again, the human aspect is very important with YouTube. So overall, I just feel YouTube has pretty much everything that the other platforms do. Just it may not be quite as developed, but it is developed enough that YouTube's got it all, man.
Yeah, and I would agree with that statement. There's a lot of other reasons. In summary, you can build a library. You can build a relationship with your audience, and just a million other reasons that we spoke about in today's episode. So hope you guys liked it. If you did, feel free to give us a 5-star review on iTunes. And thank you guys so much for watching. We will catch you guys in the next one.